Good morning, everyone. I'm Laura Toner Haddock, the producing artistic director at Austin Playhouse, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this live power hour we have going on here for Amplify Austin. In just a minute, I'll be welcoming some special guests with us this morning, but right now, I just want to thank you all for being here and say that this is Austin Playhouse's big biggest fundraiser of the year, and it's a huge event for not just us, but almost 700 nonprofits throughout our community that are participating in Amplify Austin. This is this citywide day of giving where we come together and raise millions of dollars to support the organizations in our community that make Austin so special. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for supporting everyone by amplifying Austin. I'm going to bring in one of my co-hosts, our business manager at Austin Playhouse, and also an incredible actor, Ms. Kennedy Delgado, who will be joining the stream now. Hi, Kennedy. I caught you right.
Hi.
It's
I
early.
know. I was drinking some water. Good morning.
Have my coffee.
Happy Amplify.
Happy Amplify. Great job on the merch. We have our Austin Playhouse shirts here.
Yes.
Our Ghost Light season. Mm-hmm. And our Ghost Light season is what we have going on right now because, of course, we can't be together for live theater. So there's a theatrical tradition of the Ghost Light, which is this light that's left burning on stage between performances. And we've kept our Ghost Light on for quite some time during this past year. But we've been doing a lot of virtual events, virtual performances. We've gotten a lot more comfortable with things like this live stream. So
yes, we have.
So it's really, it's great. Kennedy, I was just we were going to take a little time this hour to let folks know about some of the people behind the scenes at Austin Playhouse. And we'll all be popping on and off of this stream as I have my own, some donations set to go. I'll have to click go on those because right now Austin Playhouse is trying to win a $1,000 prize during Amplify Austin for the most donors during the 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. hour. And that means that a donation of any amount helps us win that prize. So we appreciate your support. We appreciate your support at all levels all year round. But during Amplify, it goes farther. And we also have matching funds set up, and the incredible folks over at Tito's Vodka are also matching up to $20,000 in the arts and culture category for Amplify. So there's really a lot of different great ways to have your donation really make an incredible impact during Amplify. So, Kennedy, what do you do for the Playhouse? What do
I do for the Playhouse? I like to consider myself, well, when pre-COVID, things are obviously a little different now that we're all working from home, aren't doing live productions, but pre-COVID, I am technically the business manager, but I like to think of myself as the jack of all trades in Austin Playhouse because I kind of have my hands in a little bit of everything. I, of course, work in the office, dealing with accounting and bookkeeping and contracts and making sure that the business runs smoothly, day to day. But when we're doing productions, I also am in charge of getting the concession stand ready and, working with designers and making sure that people are communicating correctly and taking care of backstage, making sure that actors are comfortable, throughout rehearsal and the performance process. So I'm a jack of all trades. I do a little bit of everything in the theater, and I just absolutely love it. It's a dream job.
Well, it's an honor to have you as part of this organization. And Austin Playhouse is in Austin probably considered a mid-size arts organization. We don't have a lot of specialists on our staff. We have a lot of generalists who are able to jump in. So when we have an event like Amplify Austin, it's an all hands on deck event. Yesterday, we had a live stream running at 6 p.m. yesterday, and I used a lot of sports metaphors. I may be switching over to some nautical metaphors. We'll see how the day goes.
I'll do better with sports than nautical, I will say.
Well, we're going to see if we can hit a home run during Amplify this year. And it is one of the things that I actually love about this event is it's kind of a really fun everyone wins chance to gamify giving in Austin. So I'm gonna in just a minute I'm going to invite one of our first special guests over. We also wanted to take the opportunity with these live streams to highlight some of the other incredible arts organizations that are participating in Amplify. So in just a minute, Elizabeth Doss from Paper Chairs will be joining us. But right now, we're going to take just a second and I will share my screen and show y'all what this Amplify Austin portal is all about. So let's go over here and this is when you go to amplifyatx.org, you can search for any arts organization. And here earlier, I searched for Street Corner Arts, which is another group in town. They do great work. I know their leaders very well, and they have a new virtual theater experience coming up. I believe it's in April, but you can check out Street Corner Arts for all that information. And they're one of the many groups participating in Amplify Austin. And you can check out these leaderboards here. And you can see Central Texas Food Bank is having an incredible kickoff to Amplify. We still have the whole day. It runs till 6 p.m. to go. And they've already raised almost $500,000. That's fantastic.
Wow.
And you can search by, so I want to look at arts and culture and see how folks are doing there. And there's Austin Creative Alliance. They are an arts support organization. So a lot of arts organizations are campaigns within Austin Creative Alliance, these fundraising campaigns. And that's where, if I've done this correctly, we can find, wait for it. Anyway, we can find all of these groups that are there. So there's Paper Chairs. That's what I'm looking for. Paper Chairs is right here, is one of these groups. So Paper Chairs is is also having a great kickoff to Amplify. Y'all, it's so wonderful to watch the community support these groups. So Paper Chairs is 83% of the way to their goal. I'd love to kick them over the finish line. And I'm going to bring Elizabeth Doss on the stream right now, and she can tell you more about the incredible work that Paper Chairs does. So Elizabeth, I'm gonna add you in here.
All right.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
So good to see you.
It's so great to see you.
It's like, just tears. It's so hard. I think for us in the arts community, we're so used to being able to connect and be with each other. So it's such a treat to be able to see you this morning. And thank you so much for including us.
It is our pleasure, really. I'm so glad you could join us. Yesterday, we had Caroline Reck from Glass Half Full Theater and a couple other groups, and we had the same sentiment. This virtual lobby is no substitute for the real thing, but it is pretty wonderful to get to see some of our friends in the community.
Right. I also want to appreciate the very generous spirit. I feel like that's the thing that Austin Playhouse, you all just, when we have used your space, you just make everybody feel at home and in part of the experience and included. And we just had such a great time when we made the audience over one of our original plays over at Austin Playhouse. So I just wanted to say thank you for including us. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I can't cry this early. It is too early in Amplify. But
I'm 30
really appreciate
pregnant, so it's never too early to cry. Which I think the last time I saw you, I was 30. I was right around that same time.
We need to shorten the intervals that
I'll just give everybody a little brief history of Paper Chairs.
Wonderful.
We've been making theater in Austin since 2010. And so in that time, I think it's 11 years, we've made 18 productions. And in addition to that, we're really interested in our process. So a lot of what we do is hosting workshops and readings and development and giving not just playwrights, but other collaborators in the theater who have maybe the idea, a performer wants to start a piece or think about the generation of a piece. So a lot of what we're interested in is that the process of incubation. And then there were sort of similar to like what you were talking about with Austin Playhouse, we're an all hands on deck. So those of us who we act, we write, we direct, we produce, we fundraise, we run the box office. Like it's sort of like very Wizard of Ozzy, you know, when you show up at the door at Paper Chairs. Oh, and now she's on stage, and you know,
I resemble that. Yeah.
You know that, and so that's, I think that's the thing that's really unique about the. We're interested in all kinds of different work, but mostly what seems to pique our interest the most is history and culture, and sort of using old unfinished or imperfect documents to make a whole new play. So that's sort of what we did with the audience, which we did at Austin Playhouse, and loved.
This is a picture from that I'm throwing up on the screen right now.
Yeah, and I can tell you just a little bit about what that process was like. So we are in Paper Chairs, one of the things we say we're very interested in is surregionalism. And it was the idea that, like,
I love that.
that space is really space and time, the environment that an author or somebody is living in is gives us a lot of information about what we want to make. So this play, The Audience, is an adaptation of an unfinished play by Federico Garcia Lorca, which many of you might have, people know some of his plays, know he's from Spain. Think about him and flamenco poetry, but he also wrote a really, really totally off the wall, bizarre play called El Público, which translates really in English to the audience. And it was a lot about who was watching what, was essentially this sort of big theme in that piece, because he was living in the 1930s in Spain at the beginning of the Spanish Civil War and sort of that Nazi or fascist occupation nationalist government. So anyway, Lorca was murdered by the government in 1936, and his body was thrown in a big mass grave. It's a site that I went and visited and did a lot of research. I used to live in Granada in Spain, so this was sort of a passion project for me. And so what we did is we took Lorca's old El Público, the script, and then I translated it into some very ridiculous English because it was already pretty ridiculous Spanish. And then we worked as an ensemble to sort of reshape that text to tell the story of Lorca's murder and tell the story of the oppression that he was experiencing and his family. So it was really... that sounds so dark, and it was a little bit dark, but it was also sort of full of slapstick and hilarity. And one of the reasons why that piece was really important to me and why Lorca is a hero for Paper Chairs is he talks about theater being a discipline that's more akin to poetry or music, and that it lives in rhythm. And I think that's a thing that's true for comedies, for tragedies, for every style across the spectrum, right? That theater is about creating a kind of rhythm or pulse in an ensemble that then moves from the stage inside the audience. So we were Austin Playhouse was such a perfect space because we were in the mall, and so that had a sort of surreal entry point, and people love that show. And so anyway, I'm working on a few more Lorca projects for the future. We're hoping to be able to stage some socially distanced readings outside. We're sort of pushing our season back to so I can have this baby, and so that we can maybe be safely in person a little bit in 2021.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love the behind the scenes looks at the creativity, because sometimes audiences don't get all of that big picture for what's going on. And thank you for coming on and kind of sharing that with us. I'm really looking forward to what y'all have coming up. I think it's so exciting. So I know Yerma is one of the pieces you're looking at. What are the other two of this?
We're looking at, so I'm sort of doing a similar process. We're looking at Blood Wedding, and we're looking at Yerma and La Casa de Bernarda Alba.
Is my text. And Yerma is one of the plays you're looking at.
I'm from Texas too, but you know,
No, I don't know.
What is it? What is it called? Spanophile? I'm a little like that.
And I prefer your yes.
So the process right now that we're doing, I at first thought I was gonna just make these kind of sloppy translations of these plays and not worry about whether or not they were very good. But then, so I was gonna do Blood Wedding, Yerma, Casa de Bernarda Alba. And then once, you know, it's like with anything, once you get started on a thing, then the process is gonna tell you a little bit more about what it is you're gonna make. And I'm having so much fun actually trying to make a new version of Blood Wedding that lives. So a lot of times Lorca had a kind of penchant for really, really over the top kind of melodrama in his tragedies. So I'm sort of trying to play with the tone of that and find the authenticity in what Lorca was very interested in rural women, the experience of, and that's what those three tragedies have in common, is sort of looking at the life, and not just one life, but what it is to be a young woman, what it is to be a grandmother, what it is to be a mother who's lost her son, this sort of web of womanness in the country. And the oppression, many people think, you know, he used that as an opportunity to explore his own feeling of oppression, being a homosexual man in Spain in the 1930s. So we're sort of looking at all of those different forces and trying to make
so many layers.
And that's the thing, is once you get started, and that's why I really like to take years to make a play. So that this is the Repentance of St. Joan, written by a wonderful local playwright, Pat Shaw. That's my back. Where I am acting. That's a whole wall of firewood. Our amazing set designer, Lisa Larada, stacked every log, you guys. If you can see that back there, that
is incredible.
And it was outdoors, and that's a fire on stage. Shh, don't tell.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, and this is one of my very first. This is my Texas play, Laura. The Underbelly, which is sort of loosely based on the life and experience of my own family. I grew up back when Fitzhugh Road and that Southwest, that Southwest used to be the Sticks, which it's not anymore. It's totally something else. And that play is sort of a blending of my own personal story and then the story of cedar choppers, which I don't know if anybody is familiar with, but it's sort of like a kind of subset culture here in the West Austin area, descended from people from Appalachia. So that's what that play was doing.
That's awesome. Well, I just want to remind folks, that we're here with Elizabeth Doss, the co-artistic director of Paper Chairs, which is one of the many incredible arts organizations you can support during Amplify Austin right now. You head over to amplifyatx.org and you can just search for Paper Chairs and read more about everything that they're doing. And we really thank you so much for coming on today. It was so wonderful to hear about this. During this time of isolation, I think I can get a little isolated. Certainly Austin Playhouse business, you're just thinking about that and thinking how we're surviving this extraordinary moment in the world. And it is so heartening and inspiring to hear and connect with some other groups and hear how they're making plans to create these incredible pieces that we'll all get to experience really soon.
Well, thank you so much, Laura. It's wonderful to see you. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Absolutely. I think until our actual lobbies are open, we need to open our virtual lobbies a little more. I really appreciate you coming on. So.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much. Well, y'all, congratulations. Best of luck. I'm sure you're gonna hit a home run.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to it. We'll check in on those leaderboards in a second.
Good luck with your sports analogies also.
Thank you. I need it. Bye, Elizabeth.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. It was last night we had Glass Half Full Theater, as I mentioned, and Hyde Park Theater and Summerstock Austin, and we it is so inspiring and so lovely to hear all these incredible plans that groups have.
Yeah.
We've been producing some virtual theater, but I do think that because we don't have those lobbies to mix in, we're not kind of out in the community as much. It's easy to get a little isolated, and Amplify Austin is one of those times that we can use to kind of come together as a community and reach out and check in on everyone.
Yes, what a great excuse to be having these check-ins and conversations. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love it. Speaking of checking in, so we are right in the middle of our power hour. It is then 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., which is when Austin Playhouse is trying to win a prize for most donors, and your donations are matched during this hour. So if you are able to support the organization, right now is an incredible time to do it. Anytime is an incredible time to do it, but
especially right now.
Especially right now. And you can do that by going to amplifyatx.org and just searching for Austin Playhouse, or that's the full link to our site on the Amplify portal. And I will take a moment and share this screen. Let's see. Let's go to Austin Playhouse and see how we're doing here. And I haven't refreshed this in a little while. All right. We are up to, that's amazing. So at the beginning of the power hour, we were just under 5,000, and we are under over 21,000 now. So thank you all so much. This is, that's incredible. It's just incredible. We'll check over here on the leaderboards for Amplify. And as you can see, it takes you to the main leaderboard. It shows you that Central Texas Food Bank is doing so well. They're at that close to $500,000 they've raised during Amplify. And the arts and culture organizations are over here. The Long Center, they had a wonderful awareness campaign this year, and they're doing really well. Austin Creative Alliance umbrellas a lot of different organizations like Paper Chairs that we heard from earlier today. So this amount that they're raised is benefiting tons of different groups in Austin. And there we are. There's Austin Playhouse right there. It's always a thing with Amplify where we because we target that 9 a.m. hour. So we kind of jump up the leaderboards early in the day. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen now and get back over here. And we have with us another special guest coming on. I'm going to bring on Mr. Tom Parker, who is a longtime member of our acting company. And I'm going to add Tom to the stream before I keep introducing him. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm so good, Tom. It's so good to see you.
We have two of the young ladies from the bridge.
Yes.
In I'm Rappaport, the 3 productions I was in, Laura played the young woman on the bridge. I think her name was Lori.
Yes.
In the second production, and Kennedy did it in the last production.
And Teresa Morrow Brown played her in the very first production. So,
and she was Teresa was also responsible for making me look old, which wasn't a problem for the last production. I had taken care of that myself.
Although you still have to put the gray in your hair, Tom.
I don't understand it. That was the same thing with my father. He lived to be 84 years old, and he had a white beard, but he still had dark hair.
We all have to suffer in some way, Tom.
I know.
Sorry.
If I had all of the whitener that I've ever had to put in my hair over my acting career, it would probably have to be stored in a 55-gallon drum.
Oh my goodness.
One of the first productions that Tom worked with my father on was a play called Translations, and Tom decided that do you want to tell us what you decided, how you decided your character should look in that?
Well, there were references in the script to my character being bald, and I was not doing that, and I have a thing when I create a character, I have this mental image about what this character is supposed to look like from the very beginning. And then I work on how he's supposed to sound, how he's supposed to walk and everything. Well, we got near dress rehearsal and it wasn't right. It just wasn't going right. So I decided that the reason why it was because my character was supposed to be bald and he wasn't. So the day of dress rehearsal, I went over to a barber shop over here on I-35, and I walked in and I asked the guy if he could cut my hair into male pattern baldness. And there was a stunned expression on his face. And this barbershop had one, it's a typical Texas barbershop. It had 3 or 4 old guys who were sitting there that weren't getting haircuts. They just sit there and they were chatting and talking and passing the time. And there was one guy whose hair was just perfect for what I wanted. I said, I want my hair to look like that. And he said, I don't know what you need it for or how long, but I'll trade you for as long as you want. So they did. They cut my hair into male pattern baldness, and I showed up for dress rehearsal that night wearing a ball cap. So I said, I just want to let you know that in case, I don't want anybody to be stunned at this, but this is what I'm going to look like from now on. So I wish some way on my website of that look.
Oh, great. I can go find it. I'm gonna go find that for us in a second.
I love the commitment. That is awesome.
It is incredible. I've had the honor to watch Tom Parker take on many roles. The one he was referencing earlier, where Kennedy and I both played a small role in the play I'm Not Rappaport, is one of my all-time favorite performances of Tom's, where he played Nat Moyer. And he played that role opposite Billy Hardin, who we lost a couple of years ago. It was another incredible Austin actor and theatrical force. And we love and miss you, Billy. I am going to check out this. Tom, so you were one of our individual fundraisers for Amplify Austin. Can you talk about that a little bit while I find this, find your website?
It's on my personal homepage, which is tomparker-actor.com.
Okay.
If anybody wants to get my website and offer me a job, that would be wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah, Lori and I have been, and speaking of beautiful people.
Hello.
My dear hearts.
Lori's getting ready to do something with one of the members from our church, so she's not available for full time. But yeah, Lori and I started out when we first started doing this Amplify Austin, we figured that, well, we need to try to have our own fundraiser page and kind of encourage our close friends and family to kind of join in and pitch in and help the theater. And it's been pretty successful. I think we've raised close to, or at least came, in some cases, past our goal. And one of the reasons what I'm doing right now, just before I came on here and when I get off here, while this power hour is going on, is going to be rattling some cages with friends and family to have them make their contribution during this hour. And it's really important because Austin Playhouse has served this community for, 20 years as Austin Playhouse. But even before that, with Don Toner and Live Oak Theater, very well. We've done a lot of benefit performances for charitable organizations and a lot of school performances. And recently, Austin Playhouse inaugurated a theater for youth, a children's theater program. And we've also been very active in promoting local playwrights with playwriting festivals and producing plays that local playwrights have produced all the time. We do it all the time. And so it's really, really important that the community comes out and supports us, just like as we have supported the community.
Thank you so much, Tom. This is such an incredible, unusual, hopefully unrepeatable year for the arts in Austin. Yes. And really, now that there is some, we can take a breath and look to the horizon, look to the future, and kind of see the return of live theater. It is so necessary that folks come out and continue to support these groups that you want to see thrive in the community once we're past this pause in live performances. I'm going to thank Tom so much for coming on, but before he leaves us, I'm going to share my screen one more time, and I have Tom's website up here, and right here, this image you can see is Tom as Jimmy Jack Cassie, and this is from 1990, one of the very first productions that Tom worked with. What was then Live Oak Theater, then became the State Theater Company, and then Austin Playhouse. And this is another one of his first roles as Haskell Harlick in The Immigrant, which we produced another production of The Immigrant 2 seasons ago. And there's these are some from the first production of I'm Not Rappaport with William Knapmoyer. So y'all can head over to Tom Parker's website if you want to check out some of these roles.
After you make your donation.
After you make your donation, get that in first. So Tom played my grandpa in You Can't Take It With You, which is one of my first big roles in Austin theater, and in the most kind and effective way taught me a lot about how to behave on stage and off, and I'm forever grateful to him for that.
We taught you a few things that you shouldn't do, like when we picked you up and held you upside down and passed you around the cast in Fiddler on the Roof.
That was Kathleen. That was Kathleen. Kathleen was in Fiddler on the Roof. I wasn't. My little sister was in Fiddler on the Roof.
She was about 10.
Yes, she was. Yeah, she was part of the gang of wild children that ran around that show.
We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for being a part of the Austin Playhouse family and for coming out this morning. We really appreciate it.
All right, everybody, get out and donate now. Thank you.
Yes. It's the power hour. We're going to start hitting it. We're heading into the home stretch of our power hour. I'm going to, just for a second, because I know he's busy working with lots of people, I'm going to pull Brian Coughlin up here to our live stream. And Kennedy, you can give me a report on how all the things are going in a second. And,
okay.
And so I'm going to add Brian to the stream here. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Brian Coughlin is in the development department at Austin Playhouse. I saw you with your puppy Oscar just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Is Oscar amplifying all the things?
Yeah, now he's eating. No, I'm just a little stunned because I just refreshed my personal fundraiser page and it said I was 300-something% of my goal. And one of our patrons.
Oh my gosh. Yes, you are.
I don't know if I should say who it is out loud, but made a huge donation. So I just changed my goal.
That is the thing. So Brian is another one of our individual fundraisers, and it's a really easy way to kind of reach out to your network. And if you're watching this and you have a group, whether it's Austin Playhouse or another group that you want to support, and you think it would be more meaningful to your friends and family to have your name associated with it, it is so easy to create an individual fundraiser page, and you can do it at any time during Amplify. You can do it at 5 o'clock tonight and shoot out that email, but maybe do it earlier because Amplify ends at 6, and let's not leave it till then. So we have a full day of Amplify Austin coming up here. It runs till 6 p.m. It started at 6 p.m. last night, and it's this 24-hour day of giving where millions of dollars are raised for Austin area nonprofits. And Austin Playhouse is targeting this 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. power hour because we would love to win an extra prize. Amplify Austin has matching funds throughout. Tito's Vodka has $20,000 that they're matching for arts and culture organizations, and they have prizes throughout the day. And we would like to win a $1,000 prize for the most donors from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., which means that any donation amounts counts toward this prize. So if you're able to join us, we really appreciate that. How's everything else going, Brian? I know you do a lot of calls during Amplify Austin.
Yes, I'm very happy to announce that I have a lot of thank you calls to get started on to some of our higher level donors. So that's my next project.
And Kennedy sends out a lot of thank you letters. I make calls too. We are so grateful for everyone's support throughout this event. There's a few comments over here. I've been doing a great job at checking all the comments. Let's see. Ben Wolf has made his donation. Woohoo! Go Power Hour.
Kathleen wore a wig.
Oh, Kathleen is talking about it during. We were speaking with Tom Parker before this, and Kathleen was in Fiddler on the Roof, which when she was 10 years old. Kathleen is my little sister, and she may have a fun announcement to make soon, but she wore a wig during Fiddler on the Roof. And Jackie, we super appreciate it, and it is very true. Donations of any amount count toward this goal. There's a $5 minimum donation for Amplify Austin, and during this time where the arts have been shut down, for Austin Playhouse in particular, our earned revenue, what we get from ticket sales, even though we've still been producing virtual theater throughout this time, our earned revenue is down over 90% where it was before the pandemic, which means that your donation dollars are really helping to support this theater in a way that it's extraordinary. We're looking forward. Thank you, Buffy. Thank you, Buffy. Thank you, Sherry. We're really looking forward to getting back to having that balance, back to more of a pre-pandemic rate between earned and unearned income. But right now, and this is, I think, mostly the case for arts groups all over town, all over the country, all over the world, your support is so meaningful. So thank you all very much for that. Let's see. I don't know about the Love Tito's this year, but that may be so. And Kennedy, do we have any updates on how all the things are going?
About how we're doing? Yeah, so we are looking at our profile. We are at 54% raised of our goal. So right now we are a little over 27,000 raised of our $50,000 goal with 110 donors. So we are doing really, really well. Let me take a look at the leaderboards.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy Bradley donated. Thank you, Kathy. And we, again, this is for most donors during the hour. So every donation counts, and every donation helps us toward that goal.
So update on the leaderboards, specifically on the arts and culture leaderboard. Austin Creative Alliance is now #1 on the leaderboard. Long Center is 2nd, and we are now 3rd. So we've gone up. I believe we were at 4th the last time we checked in. So now we are #3 on the leaderboard.
That's great. And that is excellent. Oh, we're #2 now, Kennedy. I just refreshed it. In amount raised, we are #2. So, so we're moving on up there. Moving on up. And that's great. Thank you all. Ben Wolf is telling me that Genevieve thinks his daughter thinks she's on a Zoom call, so she's waving at us. So hi, Genevieve. Everybody wave hi to Genevieve. Hi, Genevieve.
Adorable.
Yes, I got to. I dropped off some costume pieces for Ben the other day, and got to see Genevieve, who I hadn't seen in almost a year in person. And my 4-year-old was fairly giant compared to Ben's adorable petite child. It was really great. But it was also just kind of incredible to see her walking around and playing and starting to talk outside. It has been it's been a year, y'all. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Sarah Fleming Walker checking in with our Power Hour. So speaking, I'm very happy. Genevieve waved back. I'm gonna wave at Genevieve again. Hi, Genevieve. so Brian, I know you have some calls to make and some reminders to do. So I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for hopping on here.
Thank you.
I will be checking in with you throughout the day. All right. This is our only. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah Zarang just donated. Sarah Zarang is also one of the incredible actors here, and she will be seen in our reading of Roaring. We're doing a reading this Saturday night of Cindy Williams' play Roaring. And this was a show that we did in 2014. We commissioned it. We had the world premiere production, and it's about an exclusive retirement community that gets cut off. It's an underground retirement community. It gets cut off from the rest of the world, and they're not sure exactly what happens. And some fantastical, magical, incredible things take place during this time. But we thought in this time where people have been a little more isolated from our neighbors, especially some of our senior citizens, that it was the perfect opportunity to revisit this play. And it has been it's been a really moving experience to be part of it. So I would love for y'all to join us. There's more information about that on our website, austinplayhouse.com, for the Roaring reading. And let's see. So Kennedy, have you, I don't know that you've seen the thing that I want to show now. I want to show a thing about, so while we haven't been able to produce live on our stages, we have still been pretty active, as I mentioned, with the Ghostlight season. And we've done Red Hot Patriot, which was a play about Austin activist Molly Ivins. We did a virtual production of A Christmas Carol starring Bernadette Nason as everyone. We've had some readings and workshops and some social hours. But coming up next is our most ambitious virtual production. And I'd like to show people a little first look. Do you want to see? All right. So this is a first look at Agatha Christie's The Mysterious Affair at Styles.
The mind is confused, is it not so? Take time, mon ami. You are agitated. You are excited. It is but natural. Presently, when we are calmer, we will arrange the facts neatly, each in his proper place. We will examine and reject. Those of importance we will put on one side. Those of no importance, we blow them away.
Are you kidding me? I have chills. I'm so excited. That is so good. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. That is amazing.
So I was so excited to have Ben Wolf joining this cast as one of Agatha Christie's most memorable, most beloved characters, Hercule Poirot. And I can't think of a better actor in Austin to take on this role. So excited. And we wanted to kind of give him this special character reveal. And so that was the costume I was dropping off the other day, was so Ben could put together his first Poirot look. And now y'all get a first look at Ben as Hercule Poirot. And I was speaking with Ginger Morris from Summerstock Austin last night, and she, I'm so happy to see some happy responses to the video in the comments as well. It's great to see. And Ginger was talking about how Summerstock Austin works with high school and college students. Oh, y'all, it is 15 minutes till the end of Power Hour. So I'm just saying, if you haven't donated, you could do that now. And if you have some friends to remind, you could do that now too. I will, I'll throw back at that Amplify atx.org URL there. But gosh, thank you for all the support that we've been getting during Amplify and all year round. And as I was mentioning, Ginger from Summerstock has been working with all these high school and college students, and they were one of the first groups that had to pivot online because they produce in the summer. And they created this whole new musical experience. This summer, they have incredible plans for what they're going to be doing. It's just really inspiring to hear about all the incredible things happening in our community. but our production, so the Mysterious Affair at Styles, will have a much larger cast than we've been doing, and it will have a sort of hybrid approach to theatrical filmmaking, where we'll do some remote filming with virtual backgrounds. Some will be done the same way we did Red Hot Patriot and Christmas Carol, with just one actor, very isolated, very COVID safe protocols. And we'll be incorporating some more filmic elements for scene settings and the clues as they're revealed. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we have some interactive pieces. If you're an early ticket buyer, you may get some extra clues sent to you. And we also want it to be really accessible. So there will be captioning available and an audio play version that we'll produce at the end of the run of it. So I'm really excited about it. I did the adaptation of Agatha Christie's story, and this is Mysterious Affair at Styles is the very first time that Hercule Poirot appears. So audiences are getting introduced to him. We also have some incredible folks already on board in the cast. Scott Shipman is going to play Arthur Hastings, who is their narrator of the piece. Toby Minor is on as John Cavendish, who was one of our prime murder suspects, and Sarah Chong Harmer will be joining us as Cynthia Murdoch, who is also a murder suspect, even though one would never suspect Sarah in real life. So we're really looking forward to it, and that will be coming out this spring. Cindy Williams, who is our incredible box office manager, is telling us to check out the leaderboards. So let's do that. I'm just going to share my screen, and we'll go over and check out those leaderboards. And I'm going to refresh this page. And whoa, y'all, we just jumped to the top of that leaderboard. It's pretty incredible. Every year, y'all
blow us away.
Y'all are incredible. My phone is
blowing up.
So that's just fantastic. Thank you all so much. I'm going to stop sharing that screen now and come back here to there. I have too many screens open. We'll kind of work on that as the day goes on. So this is really wonderful. We are in the last 10 minutes of the Austin Playhouse Power Hour during Amplify Austin, but of course Amplify goes on all day till 6 p.m. And this year, this is the first year. I want to make a big deal out of it because we're really grateful for this. For a lot of different categories in Amplify Austin have specific big sponsorships. And this is the first year that Arts and Culture has had this $20,000 match from Tito's Vodka, which is going to be distributed among all the participating organizations. But it is an incredible commitment to the arts and culture in Austin. And we're very grateful for Tito's support. So that is going on. Kennedy, what else do we have?
What else do we have? Well, I just want to take this opportunity to say that with everything that has been going on in the past, it's been almost been a year now, right? Year anniversary that we've been had to shut down the theater. Yes, our earned income has obviously been way down because we're not doing live shows, but our the generosity of our donors has been overwhelming in a good way. And this day of giving just goes to show that, even when things are tough around us, we have this amazing community of people that support each other in the Austin arts and just in nonprofits in general here in this wonderful city. And it's just so amazing to see that even with people struggling, even with the pandemic, even with the snow apocalypse that we just all endured and are still recovering from, people are still have such generous hearts and are willing to donate whatever they obviously can. And it's just so wonderful to see.
Yeah. And there are there are many ways to support these organizations. Following them on social media now.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you're involved in the social media world at all, you know that the algorithms and what posts get shared and seen and liked, and how your posts travel through the community, how the news of your organization travels, is really dependent on how your followers interact with that. So just hitting like, hitting a comment on posts for those organizations that you enjoy and follow really helps spread their message in a very easy way, so that they don't have to pay for those posts and use those resources that way. So you may think, it's just a like, it's just a click, it's just a little like go team message, but it absolutely has an impact. So following organizations, sharing their news, sharing the ways you support them, they're all really important. They really do matter. So thank you all who are strengthening our community in any number of ways. We are so grateful. All right, y'all, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes till the end of this power hour. And then usually during Amplify Austin, we have our team set up at the theater around, we'll pull out a few tables and have everyone sitting around. And sometimes my children have joined us. There's a picture Cindy shared of us around the table where I had my youngest daughter, Kira, in arms as we were doing that. And sometimes we'll have breakfast tacos and mimosas. And I'm missing my friends and my team today, but this virtual gathering is also really great. And we've had folks jumping into the chat there to interact, which I think is really fun. One of the things before the pandemic, we always thought a live stream would be fun, but it always seemed a little daunting, and it doesn't now. We've had a year of moving a lot of our interactions online. So things like play readings, like the reading of Roaring that we are doing this Saturday at 7:30. That's Roaring, a fantastic play by Cindy Williams that you can check out this Saturday at 7:30 by going to austinplayhouse.com. I'll put it in there. And we, I don't know, it's just it's new ways to interact with our community, and they're all, so we're learning new things, and we're looking forward to, there's nothing that's going to replace being there in person, being in that real lobby with everyone, being on that stage and having that electric interaction between performer and audience that is irreplaceable. But we are happy that we are able to connect in this way during this time. So
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still reeling over here by the trailer premiere. That was just so amazing and so great. And I cannot wait to see that production. It's going to be so wonderful. So that's very exciting. Yeah, very exciting.
I think we're gonna close a couple minutes early. I'm gonna share last year's Amplify Austin video, and then I'll come back to wrap this up. But I need to get out like 5 minutes early just to make sure everything's there. But y'all, so last year, of course, our world went paused. We were in production for Indecent by Paula Vogel, which we are still looking forward to producing when we are able. And we had just filmed our Amplify Austin video. We love to do these kind of fun campaigns for Amplify Austin, and we just filmed it on the set of Tiny Beautiful Things. So that was this trailer. I'll let y'all check out.
So fun. That was so fun to make. That and your hanging onto the
my wall
steel
climbing.
wall climbing. I was like, I saw Austin Playhouse shared that kind of throwback post, that photo of you doing that last night, and I almost commented like, only Laura could make hanging on a freaking steel thing look so good. You look so effortless, but I know it was really difficult to do that.
It was hard, y'all. I have one of my cousins.
You made it look good.
Thank you. One of my cousins does incredible physical theater, mime, and parkour up in Rochester, New York. And so he was talking about, we were commenting a little bit about, but y'all, there was not like a ledge that I was on. I was just hanging on to that wall up there and kind of
in heels. You were in heels also.
I have not done any wall climbing in heels on theatrical sets in about a year. I've only climbed the walls in my house metaphorically. And yeah, so it was really fun. And that's where we were a year ago. And a lot of the reason that we were able to get through this pandemic was because of the support we had during Amplify Austin. That is absolutely true. So thank you all so much. We have a lot of really exciting things planned, and we're looking forward to sharing them with you. Can I share the trailer one more time as our closer? What do you think? Is that
yes, please?
Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna share the our Mysterious Affair at Styles teaser trailer one more time, and then we will sign off for the end of our Power Hour.
The mind is confused, is it not so? Take time, mon ami. You are agitated. You are excited. It is but natural. Presently, when we are calmer, we will arrange the facts neatly, each in his proper place. We will examine and reject. Those of importance we will put on one side. Those of no importance, we blow them away.
All right,
oh
y'all.
Man,
I love it. So I put together the trailer yesterday and had it finished at about 5:30 before jumping on the live stream. And all the images in it are relevant to the play. They're all little special clues in there. So you're not just randomly watching some coffee. And then we look forward to sharing more teasers and more news about that. I said I was going to leave this stream early, but that was incorrect. Clearly, we're 2 minutes away from the end of the Austin Playhouse Power Hour. But those matching funds from Tito's are there all day. And the reason it's called Amplify Austin is because I Live Here, I Give Here. The group that runs Amplify Austin spends all year generating this campaign to amplify your gifts. And so there's they have close to $400,000 that is also distributed among the participating organizations that goes to support the incredible work in the community. So it really is a fantastic day. You can share Austin Playhouse with your friends, share other arts organizations. We're very grateful to our friends at Glass Half Full Theater and Hyde Park Theater and Summerstock Austin and Paper Chairs that joined us for these live streams, because it's just inspiring and wonderful and heartwarming to hear about all of the great art that's being created in our community. We're really lucky to be a part of this community. We're really honored to have your support. We're so grateful. Thank you all for joining us and amplifying Austin Playhouse and amplifying Austin. Kennedy, you have anything else you want to share? Any last words?
I think you summed it up greatly, but yes, thank you so much. Thank you is all I have to say. We love you all, and what a great community to be a part of.
Yes, we thank you. All right, y'all. This is Laura and Kennedy, and we're going to sign off from this live stream. I may pop back on at the end of Amplify, Austin, just for a minute, just to thank everyone again, because this has been it has already been a really incredible day, and you have made it so. Thank you all so much. I'm going to look at the comments, and thanks to everyone who joined us for this live stream. And we will see you. Happy amplifying.
Happy Amplify.